Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you my review and demo of the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. And I have it in the shade Soft Ivory, which is kind of light for me, so I'll have to warm it up with some bronzer. But this foundation is supposed to be real good for taking photographs to not get that white flashback, make you have that white face. I've used this foundation several times and I'm not a real big fan of it. I think if you have an oilier skin type, then this would work really good for you. But I'm in my 50s, and so my skin is more on the drier side. So I have to kind of moisturize and really have my skin nicely moisturized before this will look halfway decent on me and not look like a real dry foundation. This reminds me a whole lot of the Fit Me foundation that is for, see, I have the Fit Me in, this is the normal to oily matte. So this is like on me it's like a matte finish. So that's why I said if you have an oilier skin type, I think this would be great for that. But for me, with my older, more drier skin, I have to work with it to make it look decent. Okay, there's a little picture on the back and it shows the difference in how this works with photographs. So I don't like to have my picture took, so this is not going to be, that's not going to concern me necessarily with using this foundation. But it comes with like this spatula, and I don't like that. I don't like the spatula thing. So I just take it, put it on the back of my hand, and then I always like to put the foundation on my face, not on my brush or beauty blender directly. And also, I don't like the smell of this. The Wet n Wild foundations, the first one I used, it's been a couple of years ago. It came in a tube, and I thought it smelled like paint. I didn't like it. I didn't like that Wet n Wild foundation either. So be able to take a Real Technique sponge and go into that. Now, I don't think any foundation that I've used with a beauty blender or sponge ever gives me as full a coverage as what a brush does. So I can tell right now this is not giving me much of a coverage, which I forget if this claims to be full coverage or not. I debated on whether to do a review of this or not because I really don't like it. And see, right now my nose, the way this foundation works for me is like no matter how much, how good my skin is, this still shows up. It looks like I put it over dry skin. And I just don't. even saturating my skin really well, it still seems to dry really matte on my skin. And I feel like that ages me far too much to suit my taste. Because, you know, at any age, we don't want our makeup. We want our makeup to make us look better, not worse. And as you can see, this makes me look very pale. So the color doesn't really match me that well. See on my forehead, I don't think my camera is not showing that up good, but like right in here, see it on my cheeks, right in here. It's just like, it's just like I put it on really, really dry skin. And I really don't like that at all. So I don't like this, and definitely it's definitely not something I would put powder over top of, because that's kind of what it looks like. It almost looks like on my cheeks and around my mouth and my nose and just up here on my forehead, it almost looks like that I've put on a foundation and then I've put powder on the wet foundation. That's what it looks like to me in these places, which is probably not showing up on camera as bad as it really looks, 'cause it just looks horrible. Now, which I'm using a 10 times mirror here, and this one is my regular mirror. But with my vision being such as it is, and if I can see it, then somebody that has good vision, it can really look bad. So I'm not a fan. I do not like this foundation. My conclusion, to sum it all up, I do not like this foundation. This does not work well for me at my age and my skin type, which, like I said, is I'm in my 50s, and this is more of a matte finish on me, and where my skin is more dry, it just does not look good. It makes my skin look too mattified and dry and older. I feel like it ages my skin. Plus the shade is just the shade that I picked is too light, because, you know, I said before, I try and pick a shade that does not have the pink, and it seems like when it doesn't have, if it's not pink, then it's too white. I just have a hard time, and I know I can mix them, but I don't like to go and buy a couple of foundations until I find out that I like it. And that's one reason why I've not went and got a different shade to mix with this, because this is a good price. I think it was like $5.99, or, I mean, Wet n Wild has, they price their products very well, but I've not found a foundation from Wet n Wild that works for me. But for this price, you know, if I like the foundation, I would go back and get another color to mix with this to you know, match my skin tone better. Okay, I'm going to take my Coastal Scents blush and bronzer and do a little bronze in with this lightest shade here. And I'll be doing it with my e.l.f. Kabuki brush. Kind of warm me up here a little and make me not look so pale. And then I'll go ahead and use a little bit of this blush. And I'm going to use my Luxie blush brush. Go into this.
Keep the shade.
So then I would take something like my Milani Make It Dewy, which is a hydrating, illuminating setting spray, to kind of make this not look so dry, because right now it just seems like after adding the bronzer and the blush on these places where the foundation made me look dry, and so much is just emphasize that. So I know this will help some. I love the smell of this. So by using this illuminating, hydrating setting spray, it has made my skin look a little more glowy and not so dry and mattified. But with this foundation, usually what I'll do with these is, and I did it with the Fit Me foundation from Maybelline, is the mattified ones. The mattified foundations, what I do is I'll take something that, like with my CC cream from the IT Cosmetics, and mix with this, and it works better for me, which I could do that with this and make the color suit me better. And so that's probably how I'll use it, because I hate to, you know, go spend money on a foundation and not be able to use it at all. So I'll usually try and mix it with something, any makeup I get that I don't like, that does not work with me, that I can't give away, you know, for somebody else to use, then I'll try and take something I already have that works and mix it with it and try and make it work, you know, because I'm just thrifty like that. Okay, so this is the best I can do by using this foundation on its own without mixing it with another dewier type of foundation. This is my result. And so my review of this foundation would be that it just did not work for me. I could not recommend it for older, drier skin types. So that's my review of the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.